It never leaves. That February night that rocked me and still stains me to this day was not the first off-color experience I had had. A 14-year-old boy repeatedly touched my butt without my permission when I was 11. My teenage neighbor used my body to experiment with her sexuality when I was 12. I dismissed these incidents as childhood roadblocks, and I'm surprisingly well adjusted to them to this day. I forgave the perpetrators, not just within word, but within my own heart. And while I acknowledge this fact, I wonder how I could be okay with it. But I decide that since I am, there's no need to mess with it. I never want to add angst to my life that isn't already there. However, it seemed my super resiliency had run out at a party late winter of my last year of college. A friend of a friend was having a birthday party on a Saturday night, and I was really excited about it. There was going to be dancing and Jell-O shots, which is all I really needed to have a good time. The music was just as good as expected, and I was solidly drunk, dancing with a guy I just met. Not grinding, nothing even remotely intimate. We were just standing next to each other in one of those dance circles for people who don't want to be remotely intimate with the people around them. Then all the people left at about the same time, presumably to go get drinks, and we were left facing each other. I don't know if any words were exchanged, if anything was said to indicate what was on the menu for that evening, but I don't think so. This guy just reached out and grabbed my breast. Out of nowhere. And I was shocked, but I immediately repressed these feelings. I told myself, it's fine, it's college, and it was over the clothes, so whatever. He couldn't even look me in the eye as he explained shamefacedly that the only reason he'd done it is because another guy at the party, a total stranger, had told him to. This was even more shocking, but because I was drunk, the fact that a guy had been ordered by a third party to attack me and actually obeyed made more sense than the fact that there was even a middleman at all. So I proceeded to yell out in full slur, "If you want to grab my boob, come over here and do it yourself." This was my mistake. One I feel real shame over. Because theoretically, this is consent. But what it is not is any indication that I should be taken seriously. A drunk girl at a party yelling at some guy she just met, never met really, had no contact with, to do something gross and invasive to her in front of a room full of people who all know each other, that should never be considered okay in any world. What he should have done was read the situation, realize that I shouldn't be taken seriously, and laugh it off. Maybe even get me a glass of water, which is really what I needed. What he did was stride over to me, push the first guy out of the way, and proceed to touch me all over my body in places I consider off limits. Over the clothes, under the clothes, it felt like forever. It was probably only seconds. The birthday girl and two other guys at the party had to separate us, as in it took 3 people to physically pull him off of me. And I immediately retreated to the kitchen, feeling gross and angry. How I dealt with these feelings was not to go home, which is what I should have done, but instead I took 3 shots in a minute and proceeded to say for several more hours. I think I was thinking that it would constitute defeat for me to leave. That me and this guy had been in a battle over my body, and I had clearly lost, but I couldn't just let that lie. So I was going to stay on the battlefield, surrounded by my wounded men, and wait for him, or anybody, to return, so that I could regain what I had lost. Why they didn't just ask him to leave is beyond me, although it didn't occur to me at the time.